Recently I've been focused on myself and lost 40 pounds. In this journey I discovered the fat acceptance movement. A large part of what inspired me to do this is the discussion on universal health care. As a country we are living longer and getting fatter, both of which burden the healthcare system. Only one of which is in our power to control. Universal healthcare as the years go by is looking less and less feasible. We have the power to counter this trend, all it takes is hard work. In this video I will be looking at recent examples of fat logic coming directly from the Bird app.
You still buy into the anti-fat idea that thin being healthier than fat is settled science, regardless of the fact that there is a vast amount of uncertainty in the science that has been ignored and hidden and paid away. I get it. It's very hard to get to a truly pro-fat place.
There is not a vast amount of uncertainty. At least in the medical field and the scientific community. There are dozens of studies and meta-analysis showing obesity puts you at a higher risk of certain diseases than being thin. This association can even be found in non-human models, which negates the social explanation of this association.
People are incentivized to lose weight for no scientific reason, just because they're told it will make them healthier and prettier.
This is such a strange argument to me. You can do things that are good for your body for cosmetic reasons and it would still be good for your health. If you stop smoking for no other reason than you don't want yellow teeth, it's still beneficial for your health despite how silly the reason may seem.
There aren't any credible long-term studies that show that being fat is unhealthy. But there's many that show that any attempted weight loss will do great damage to your body's internal functions. Researching the Minnesota starvation experiment is a great start.
Let's take this one at a time. Number 1. This fat logician claims, there aren't any credible long-term studies that show that being fat is unhealthy. Well, this is false. Here's just one. Valenzuela et al. 2021 is a massive study published earlier this year, looked at over 500,000 people and separated them into the three main BMI categories: normal, overweight and obese. Participants reported their activity levels and then were monitored over a 4-year period. The researchers specifically focused on 3 diseases: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. What the researchers found is that a sedentary person with a normal BMI had a lower risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol and diabetes than an active obese person. Just by sitting on your ass and maintaining a normal BMI, your chances of getting high blood pressure, high cholesterol and diabetes are already lower than a person who is active but obese. Not only that, an active, obese person also has a higher risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol and diabetes than a sedentary person in the overweight category. One more thing of note, the researchers found that obese people who were sedentary, active and barely active showed very little difference risk in their chances of getting high cholesterol, suggesting this disease is affected more by weight than physical activity. But all 3 groups had a higher chance of being diagnosed with high cholesterol than sedentary overweight and normal weight people. Number 2, this fat logician claims, there's many that show that any attempted weight loss will do great damage to your body's internal functions. Willis et al. 2020 is a large study consisting of over 161,000 individuals. What the study showed is that it is totally fine to attempt weight loss multiple times. In fact, it decreases mortality. This study makes quite clear that a major reason other studies show weight loss-associated higher mortality is a failure to correct for intentional and unintentional weight loss, which is often the result of disease. Number 3, this fat logician claims, researching the Minnesota starvation experiment is a great start. I may get into the details of the Minnesota starvation experiment on another date, but the refutation to this is quite simple. Starvation is not comparable to a small to medium calorie deficit. To say otherwise is not only stupid but insulting to people who go through starvation.
Fat liberation means intentionally giving up space for, protecting and supporting, and shifting our main focus to the fattest of us, who are black, dark-skinned, queer, trans-misogyny affected, disabled, working class individuals that are not the picture of perfect health.
You live in a country where you can eat until you are literally immobile. You don't want a space, you want more space. You have the audacity to ask for more resources at the same price as someone who uses less resources than you. On top of this, you've been fat in with actual marginalized groups. That is incredibly insulting. I mean this in the most disrespectful way possible. Fuck you.
Fat phobia is so deeply ingrained that an account on TikTok who has two big chubby beautiful twin babies is being told she needs to feed them less. 7-month-old babies are being told they are too fat.
This just in, fatlogician is unaware you can overfeed babies. I'm all for reproductive freedom, but I truly hope this person does not breed. According to Slining et al. 2010, overfeeding babies can result in a delay in the development of motor skills. Being overweight has health consequences even in babies. Please do not overfeed your goddamn babies.